Hello all, welcome back to my channel Uncomplicated Engineer. I hope you guys are doing great. So today's video is about Python programming problem, basically a coding problem in Python, which is print the sum of the elements of a list. So in this video I'm going to share the solution for this for this problem statement. So let's just start. For example, I'm writing ls1, a list that I'm taking as an input. I'll take 3, 5, 2, 1, 8. So this is the random elements that I've taken. Now what our task is to find the sum of the elements of this list ls1. So the elements are 3, 5, 2, 1, 8, and now the sum would be 8 plus 1 9, 10 11, 12 13 14, and 14 plus 5 equals to 19. So our answer should be 19. So we have to give output as 19. So this would be the sum. Okay. So let's just first understand the basic approach that we are going to apply here. First of all, I'll access the elements of this list using a for loop. So what the for loop will do, it will access every element, and then I would initialize a variable as total, and I would initialize that to 0 after declaration. And then what the for loop will do, it would access every element and it would then add to the total variable that we have initialized. Let's just look at how it is. So I'll write for I in ls1. So what this mean, it is the variable I is going to access every element in the list ls1. Okay, now the first element that I would access is 3, then 5, then 2, then 1, and then 8. Okay, now as we have discussed, we will have a variable named total. So let me just write that total. I'm initializing it to 0. Well and good. Now what we are doing is we are going to add every element accessed by the for loop to the total. Okay, so how we are going to do it? We'll write total plus equals to it would be I. Since I is accessing our element, so we'll write total plus equals to I. For those who really are confused about this, it is total equals to total plus I. Okay, good. So I hope you guys have understood till here. Now what is our final task? It is to print the sum that we have got. But before that, let me explain you how this works. So first of all, we will be having total as 0. Okay, then when I will access the first element, which would be 3, our total will become 0 plus 3. Our total will become 3. Okay, after that, when I will increment, and it will go to the second element of the list, that is 5. Then what will we be having? The total variable will be storing the sum as 3 because it has incremented, not incremented actually, it has added the first element. So it would be 3. Then our second element would be added, it would be 5. So 5 plus 3 would come out to be 8. Similarly, the other elements get added, and then we have our final sum. So to print that, we'll write out of the for loop, we'll write print total, since the sum is stored in the total variable. Okay, let's just run this and check if our output is correct or not. There you have your output, it is 19. You can just check the sum of the elements, it comes to 19 only. So this is the case 1. That's a very basic case that I've shown you here, but it's very simple to understand. The second case that we are going to discuss here is, let me just comment out these things. Okay, now the second case would be, what if our list, I'm taking here ls2, has elements of different data types. Okay, since all of us know that list is a data type in Python which can have elements of different data types. It is unlike array. Array is an element data type which stores homogeneous elements. Okay, elements that have homogeneous data types, and in list it's totally opposite of what array has. We can store any element having any data type in list in Python. So what if I do not have all elements as integer? What if I have 1, I have 5, I have a string element 89, and I have a float element for example say 9.10. So what would be the solution in this case? Let's just look at that. To clear your perception, I would say for checking the data types, I'll write, just a second, I'll write print, and 1 and 5 are integer, as you all know. Now 89 is a string, and I'll make sure that you are getting the type of that element. So it ls2, and it would be second element 0 1 2. Okay, let's just see the data type. I'll just run it. You see it's a string. Okay, class str. Fine. Now I want to check the data type of the last element. I'll write 3, since 0 1 2 3, 3 is the last element. Okay, so it's a float. Well and good, it's clear now. You don't have any type of confusion in the data types. Okay, now what we are going to do, unlike the first case that we have seen, this is the case 1, and here we are looking at case 2. Okay, unlike case 1 where we had homogeneous type of element, they were all of type int. Unlike that, there's a very slight change in this solution. What we are going to do, again same, we'll just initialize total 1, or let's say total equals to 0. Okay, it's initialized, declared, all good. Now I'm again taking a for loop. I'll write for I in ls2, similar to that the first that we have seen. We are using for loop just to access the elements of list. Okay, colon, and now what I'll write, this line contains a very slight change, you know, if you know, and then we'll write here total plus equals to. Now there's a very basic logic here. Since I cannot add 1, I can add 1 plus 5, it gives me 6. Cool, both are integer, I'll get an integer output. But what if I am adding 6, or I'm adding 1 plus 5 plus 89 in string or string variable? It's a string element, it's not possible. We cannot add them, and we cannot get a integer output unless and until we change the type of those elements which are not integer into integer, which is also known as typecasting in Python. So it's very easy to do that. We'll write int of I. Very slight change that you can see here. Here we have written only I, and what we are doing here, we are writing here int of I, since we want that element typecasted to integer in order to get an integer sum. Okay, this is done. What this would be, it would be total equals to total plus int of I, the expanded form. Clear? Now the very last step that we have, so what would happen here, the total will be 0 primarily, then we'll have 1 added to it since 1 is the first element, then 0 plus 1 gives 1, then again 5 will be added after incrementation of I, we'll get 5 plus 1, it would be 6. Now here's the break point. When we are adding 89, we are not adding the string element, we are doing typecasting, we are writing int of string 89, it would come out 89. So for example, if I'm showing you here, just to avoid any type of confusion, if I'm writing print not type, I'll write int of 0 1 2. Its string element is of second position, is on the second position, so I'll write this print 2. I'm sorry, I'll write here int of ls2. Okay, it's giving. So just to avoid any type of confusion in the typecasting, for example, if I'm writing let's take L equals to 78, it's a string, and what I'm writing is print int of L, so I should get it as 78. Okay, so typecasting is working fine. Again, if you want to check for the float elements typecasting, if I'm writing k equals to 8.99, and if I'm writing print int of k, so just check the output, we get 8. the float changes to int. So this is what the typecasting is, and I really don't think you would be having any type of confusion now. Okay, back to our solution. Total gets incremented, done. The last step was to print the sum. Okay, so we are printing total. Fine, let's check the output, and for your convenience, we can check what the total is going to be. It's basically 89 plus 9, since it typecasted, plus 1 plus 5, so it's 104. So our output should be 104. Okay, so we'll just check. Here we have our output. It is what it should be, and it's 104. So guys, this was all about the solution. I hope I would have explained you the solution very easily, and I hope you have got it. So these are the two cases that you're going to see when you have the problem of print the sum of elements of a list. For the first case that I've explained is of homogeneous, all elements are of int type, and the second is of different types, elements of different types. So this is the solution, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you are now able to solve this type of question. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel for more such videos. Also hit a like and do comment. If you have any type of query, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you.